lender with Pink Home Loans. I wanted to have this webinar today to present some maybe opportunities for realtors. And it's because last year was a little bit hard on our industry, right? And I know that I got into my own head, especially toward the end of last year, and just really wasn't even sure if I wanted to do this anymore. um, all of those things, just maybe I should quit, right? And maybe some of you feel like that as well. So I thought I would put together a little webinar. I went to a training the beginning of this month, and it gave me some ideas to share of ways to get your head back in the right space and think of ways that you can start drumming up business. So January so far for me on the lending side has actually been a little bit busy. I've had some activity going on. I don't know if people just are sick of waiting for the interest rate or what it is, but I'll take it. So far so good for me. But maybe you're still not there yet. And so I just kind of wanted to do a little bit of collaboration today, share some things that I learned, and maybe they will help you as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So why are we here today? This is kind of what I was talking about. We want to get out of our negative headspace and start thinking about our business positively again. Stop talking about the gloom and doom to people, and instead fix your mind and say, this year it's going to be better. This is going to be much better. A lot of people that I've been listening to on podcasts, on other webinars that are in the industry, that have been in the industry for 20 some years, say that we have hit rock bottom as far as the interest rates being like almost 8% where they were. No activity, a hard stop in the industry. I know you guys all felt that probably not last year even, but maybe even the year before. There was when the rates went up really high, all of a sudden there was pretty much a hard stop. All the buyers freaked out. Some of them that were pre-qualified weren't anymore based on what the rate moved to, or at least they weren't qualified for the amount that they were already shopping at. And so that was really rough. So a lot of experts have said that should be only going up from here. So the sentiment right now that I'm hearing on the lending side is that I do listen to the markets every single day. I listen to economic data. I'm trying to always be on top of like what's going on, so that way I know what to do with my loans, and I can educate others as well. And so right now they're saying that the feds are expected to hold steady through March. There was talks of interest rate cut maybe happening in March. Now they're saying that's probably not going to happen. They're probably going to hold around where we're at right now. We may see a cut in May instead. So that's kind of the timeline that I'm hearing right now. That can change. News changes all the time. So that's just what's current right at this moment on January 23rd, 2024. So if that changes soon, just expect that. So right now they're saying as well that we're in an early sweet spot before those rates do come down. There's no overpaying, there's no bidding wars. We're not waiving inspections right now. Sellers are still working with buyers. They're still giving some concessions to get those properties gone and move on to whatever else they're doing. So it's actually a good spot for buyers. And we need to focus on the good things. And so that's something I'm going to kind of help you showcase, is how to focus on those good things, how to have those conversations, and what you should be saying to people instead of focusing on the interest rate. That is definitely not the most important thing. So a lot of people are stuck in what I'm going to call FOBO, and this is a coin term I heard from someone else, but I'm going to share it. It's called fear of better options. And a lot of people are stuck here right now. Sorry, I'm still fighting a little bit of a cold, so I may cough a little bit during this webinar. I apologize, but fear of better options. So they're scared that if they move right now that the interest rates are going to go down and then they missed it, right? Or, they're not getting the best price right now, even though I think prices obviously are still the only thing in those emails that are going up consistently. Inventory is going down, things like that. But the sales price, if you look on any of those sheets every month, is consistently going up. So we are still earning equity. Better options can come around, and we need to help educate people that if they do, they can they can refinance, then they can get into a better rate. Then we don't need to focus on that. We need to focus on a payment that they're comfortable with and a house that they want to get into, so they can start earning that equity and be on that sheet of the rising prices in the future. So that's kind of what I'm talking about in that second point right there. Look for price and payment they can afford. You guys that have those sheets all the time as realtors showing monthly statistics, a lot of those do share that the prices of homes are going up. So just remind them of that. Like, not that they're not going to be able to afford it, but that if they buy earlier, the better, because they're going to be part of those people that are earning more in price and gaining that equity. All right, so I wanted to give you guys maybe a reminder and maybe some ideas of people you can target to help make a move. Let me move this Zoom down a little bit. These are some people that maybe you forgot about, or maybe you just never heard of before. So there's a lot of locked in people right now. So I've heard some stories of even people that are divorced and still living together, or because they don't think that they want to get out of that mortgage because they're at like a low interest rate, or they're not really sure how to navigate that, and or they want to be divorced and they're scared to make that step because they don't want to figure out the real estate factor either. So that was kind of eye-opening to me to hear that. Definitely think we need to talk to these people more. Obviously, they don't want to be in this situation. They don't want to be there anymore. Need to give them some ways to get out of that. We can work through that together. There's a lot of people that want to move up to a larger home. When I did Broomfield Days over the summer, I heard this consistently. There's a lot of people that are already purchased their starter home. They want like their more forever home, but they have that low interest rate and they don't want to jump up to 7%. We're not at 7% right now, but more like 6.5%. But still, they don't want to make that jump. They're scared to make that jump. They're not really sure what that looks like. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more when I talk about how to have these conversations with these people. So there's another set of people that want to downsize to a smaller home as well. Same situation. They're at a low interest rate. They don't want the higher one when they move. These people do still need a loan sometimes because they want to like get a nicer home than they already have, or sometimes those ranches, as you know, probably can go for a little bit more. So we can have those conversations with people like, hey, your kid just went off to college. What are you planning on doing? Like, just casual conversations. See what they say. Maybe they're having the conversations with their spouse, but if they're not having them with you as the realtor, then they're never going to make that move. But maybe if you approach them and say, hey, what are you going to do? They're like, you know what? Me and my wife have been talking about this. Maybe we should just see what that looks like. So have those conversations, talk to people. Both of those showed up the same time, so we'll just cover them both. People that want a new city or a new community, there's always people moving all of the time. Find those people who are maybe coming to Colorado, leaving Colorado, or whatever state you happen to be in. If you're watching it from a different state, I live in Colorado, so I just mentioned that. And then renters, right? We've got those renters out there that are wanting to buy. Remind them that apartments are not fixed rates. Their landlord can change that rent anytime. A mortgage is a fixed rate, unless they're going in adjustable, which we're not going to put them in right now. I think fixed are going for a better interest rate at the moment. But anyways, they're going to be in a fixed rate, knowing what their payment is all the time. They don't have somebody else jacking it around. If they're younger, maybe they need some ideas of like how they can make that happen. Maybe they need to learn how to house hack. Maybe they need to learn that they can buy with a roommate and rent those rooms out. Maybe they need to learn how they can, use gift funds. Maybe that's an option that they need to look at. All of these things young people are not really educated about. And so just starting those conversations of, how long do you see yourself renting? Do you have aspirations to become a homeowner? What do those look like? What does your time frame look like? Like, what do you know about purchasing a home? Asking them those questions and just getting the conversation rolling um, is great for them. They just really don't know, and they don't even really know where to go to find that information other than like online, which isn't always the best source. If you're local, you're right there able to talk to them. I think that conversation can go a lot better. So you just need to know, where does your client fit, right? Like there's all these different options. The only way you know where your client fits is to have conversations with more people. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more. So if you only had 30 days to survive in this industry, what would you do to save your business? And this is a question that I got asked in one of my webinars, and it's very real. This has happened to people last year where they were running out of money, right? They're not able to sustain anymore, or just having a really hard time sustaining. Bills are coming due. Their family is relying on them to make this business work, right? And they only have 30 days before they're going to have to say, all right, I'm done. I have to go get a different job or whatever. So I thought this was very thought provoking, and it's very real, right? This has happened to people, and so we just kind of really dig deep, I want to give you guys some ideas. So they suggested, and this is a great idea as well, call everyone in your database. um, if you don't have a ton of database yet, say you're a newer agent, call your friends, call your family, call people, anyone okay? Start filling that database with those people. Get a CRM if you don't have one. That is a customer retention management program. There's plenty of them online. There's a lot of cheap ones you can just buy per month if you don't want to invest in something fancy, just to hold their names and contact information in some notes, just to help you out. Find one. And if you don't have a database, start filling it with family and friends and build from there. Find out what they're doing in their life right now. Find out how happy they are in their home. Find out if they fit into any of those types that I mentioned before. And then they're probably going to. And if they do, say something like this, like, it's been hard. Or you don't even need to admit that if you don't want to. You can just say, I need your help, or I'm looking for more people to help me. I want to help more people answer the question, should I keep renting or buy now? Can I practice that on you? And if they're your friends or family or a past client or whatever, they might say, well, I guess if they're renting, they're probably not a past client, but whatever. They're probably going to say, yeah, at least if they know you pretty well, they're going to say, sure, why not? All right. And then me as a lender, I can sit down and show them side by side what they're spending. What does it look like if they purchase? What are you looking to purchase? I can run like light numbers for them. And then you guys can bring up the point how rent is not fixed. Show them how home sale prices have steadily risen in the last few years. And then you can explain that means that they could have had that much equity if they would have bought 1 year ago or 3 months ago or 6 months ago. You can show them a gradual progression of, look, you would have this amount of money in your bank account, right? You would have this money available to you basically right now if you would have purchased this long ago. And we're still at an appreciation rate of whatever we're at right now, like let's say 5%. We're still at an, whatever, you guys know that a little bit more. We're still at an appreciation rate of like 5%. So, just put those figures into their head so they can understand Oh yeah, like maybe I should think about that more. And if they want to see raw numbers, I'm always welcome to do a free consultation. They can take 15 to 30 minutes, nothing really crazy. Show them some light numbers of what it's going to look like, get those numbers in their head. And even if they're not ready right now, at least they have those numbers in their head. They know, man, this is what a place kind of costs that I'm looking at. This is kind of what I think I want to put down. And then they can think of ways to start saving to achieve that goal. When they don't have the conversations, then they don't get set up to succeed, right? So have those conversations, make some notes, follow up with them. If they are like, oh, maybe I do need to have this conversation, keep in contact with them and see what happens. This is another scenario that I put together. If you want to move up, but you're stuck at a 3% interest rate, this is a huge population of people right now. Again, I am working currently. I've been actually working with a few different people through this, and they're actually surprised at what those numbers look like for real when we write it down on paper. I've been showing them their equity, and if they take that equity and put it down on something else, what their payment actually would be or what their new loan would actually be. And I have to say, a lot of them are surprised. And so I think that's a really good conversation because people just have it in their head that they're stuck. But sometimes when they have that conversation and really sit down with someone to talk about it, they can see that, oh, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not stuck. Maybe this is the route I can actually do. Um, so a conversation for you, since you're not running numbers, you can talk about what type of property that they would like to have instead. And then you can bring up the subject of how much equity they have gained since they have been living there. And like I said, some people don't realize how much they have to utilize toward buying something else. So just bringing up that, hey, by the way, did you realize you have $300,000 of equity right now that you could put into something else or whatever they have, right? And they're like, oh, I kind of knew that. And like, well, did you realize like this type of property that you want to move into is going for like 700? If you put three down, I'll add a $400,000 loan. Where when you started, you were at like a 550 anyway. So you're like, I don't know. So the numbers might make sense, is what I'm saying. But if we're not having these conversations with people, they might not understand that they could actually get out of that situation, be paying like something that's maybe similar, maybe a little less even than what they are now, and get out of a situation that they want, get into a house that they want to live in more. That's either bigger, smaller, whatever direction that they're moving. But we need to have more of these conversations in order to educate people and help them get out of their own head and see what it looks like. And again, I'm open to consultations for these people. I already have a system that I've been using that's set in place. So if you have someone that you've talked to and you're like, you know what, they do want to see numbers, have them give me a quick call or I'll schedule an appointment with them. We'll talk for 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how many questions they have. And I'll give them a quick idea and I'll let them see the spreadsheet and they can see. And I email it to people too, so they have the black and white later if they want to reference it again and say, oh, maybe I do need to look at that again or whatever, and have a conversation with my spouse or whatever that looks like for them. So that's kind of how I've been working, and I think it's been really helpful for people, and I want to keep on doing that. So that's some ways to have that. And then if you're having those conversations, those practice ones, I bet some of those will become clients, right? They're gonna say, oh, you know what? I'm so glad you actually talked to me about that. Like, I do want to move out of this place. Like, let's do something. Um, and then also ask them after you've been successful, do you know anybody else I can practice this on? Because the more you're talking to people about these situations, the better you're going to become, the more questions you're going to get. And so you're going to be able to do your research on whatever they're asking and then become a better agent and become better informed. So I think it's a great cycle, and that's kind of what I've been doing so far. And I think it's been great. So I just wanted to share that. So I just wanted to do a little bit of collaboration, see if there's anything that did work for you in 2023, why don't you go ahead and write that down and keep doing those things, okay? We need to think about our year before we go into a new year. And I know that's like something that's talked about a lot, but I really do think that giving yourself some time to think about that really does help. Like, what is stuff that worked for you in 2023 that you want to continue? Okay. Like, I set up, not me particularly, but I set up a MailChimp campaign, and then like I stayed in contact with my clients, and then I got a lot of referrals from it. Okay, keep doing that. Or I made phone calls every day. I talked to my friends and family. They eventually gave me a lot of referrals or whatever. What's something that didn't work for you in 2023? I was a part of this networking group. I talked to so many people. I never got one referral ever. Nobody even knows what I do. Don't go there anymore. Find a new one. We do go to network to get some business, right? We're not there to pay for friends. And that's something I had a hard realization last year. I'm not networking to pay for friends. I'm networking. If I am there for friendship, I am there for a true relationship. I'm not a fake person. But if it never turns into any leads, or then why am I paying for it? We're not paying, I don't pay for friends. So I don't know, maybe you want to, but so that was one realization I had. I really kind of teared down that kind of thing. I don't network everywhere. I'm very strategic. I wrote down specifically what I'm going to be doing this year, and I'm going to be sticking to that. And we'll see how it works. And then maybe I'll have to change that again for next year. So I'm always up for collaboration, you guys. I want to help you out and give you some ideas. We're all in this together. We're all in the same industry. I want to help you out. I want you to be successful, and I want you to be in a better head space for sure. So start utilizing some of this, come up with a plan, take a day and actually do some steps to doing this. And I'm going to give you some steps to do that now. So one thing that I did for this year is a vision board online, and I'm going to show you what I did. So let me share my other screen. Hold on one second. This one. Let's get back to the top. Give me 1 second to go to slideshow view. Okay, so I made this in Google Slides. So some people tell you to do it in Canva. I just did this really generic thing in Google Slides because it was really easy for me to just Google some images, cut and paste. There we go. It's done. I printed this sheet after I figured it out, and then I look at it every day. Okay, I have it hanging up. I actually take some time to look at it. I have a bunch of different things on here. I'm not going to go through my vision board, but I have a couple trips. That's why these months are on here. These are months that I want to do some trips, and all different kind of things. So, we're not going to like go over my vision board, but, the other thing I did is I went through and each made new slides. Okay. So I made 12 new slides after that. And I wrote to myself as the year already happened. Okay. So I did decide how much money I wanted to make this year. And then I backed that into how many purchase loans and how many refinances I need this year in order to get to that number. And then I don't know, this is just like you got to say stuff that you think is going to be true as well, right? Like you got to say, what do I really think I'm going to generate this year? Okay, this sounds good. So I just wrote myself a little bit of a narrative here. I'm not going to read it for you, but I also said reasons why I started generating some business. So I established a better email campaign. I kicked off a Zoom call. Here we are. I did have an investment class at RIA. I just did that yesterday. So these are all things that are tangible events that I have hosted. And I'm saying that things are happening because I did those things. I started the year strong and all of that. So you write the month like it already happened. And then if you know of things that you're already going to be doing, definitely include it. Put personal things in here. Like I said, I was able to pay for my family trip to Chicago, blah, 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 blah. personal things in here as well as business things, because you're going to be reading this every day. So you look at your vision board and then you read this to yourself every day. So it goes into your subconscious. Okay. And then, it just kind of spell out where your clients, when do they come? Right. Here's some of mine. They're going to come in March. Here's some of mine. They're going to come in April. Here's some of mine. They're going to come in May. Supposedly, if we have a refinance, if rates go down, I'll have some refinances. So I put some refinances in May, because right now that's the time frame that they're saying that that's going to happen. Honestly, I had that already before they even mentioned that, so it's kind of weird. I put all the summer months in one because summer is a little crazy. I decided to combine them all. I didn't want to spell them all out, but you totally can. And then just kind of list where your clients look like. Where are they coming from? If you want 5 listings, 10 buyers, where are they coming from? Where are you finding them? Are they referrals? Are they from a leads group? Are they from a networking group? Are they from your friends, your family? Like, where did you find them? Did you host something? Where did you meet them at? So write that in here, okay? And then I want to show you something else. So this is all my woo-woo stuff. All right, so this is a little bit more specific. This is going to tell you, you're going to say exactly what you're going to earn. So I'm going to earn $95,000 by closing 19 transactions. I don't even know. That's probably not right, but whatever. 10 of those are going to be purchased and they're going to be refinanced. You can say however you're going to make your money. Okay. Like, you just spell it out. I'm making this much money and this is how I'm going to do it. Then you're going to write 3 ways that you're going to make that money. Okay. So these are my 3 ways I'm going to do it. I'm going to use social media to generate consumer direct business. I am pretty active on social media. Okay. I'm going to continue that. Host classes and networking events to educate. Here I am. Use CRM, excuse me, and MailChimp to stay in better contact with leads, power partners, blah, 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 blah. Yes. Okay. So I noticed last year I wasn't the best at staying in contact with people. So I did want to change that this year. Started trying to set up a MailChimp, and I haven't finished that goal all the way. So for these, you're going to make up for these tactics, you're going to make 4 strategies or 5 strategies for each. You can decide on how many strategies that you need. So like for tactic, the first one, we use social media. This is what I'm going to do to use social media. So I listed it out. In order to use social media to generate consumer direct business, I'm going to do, number 1, YouTube videos every week, which are also going to be a blog on my website. Okay, I'm just going to do vlogging pretty much. I'm going to use Facebook to advertise my events so everybody sees what I'm doing. I did my mastermind in January. Here I am. Going to go to my groups that I am online and like actually visit and post. We'll see how it goes. And then for my second one, like host classes, I said what I'm going to host. I actually have this a little bit more dialed in, but I didn't put all that information in there. And then for number 3, how am I using CRM and MailChimp? Like, what am I doing? So your action steps, this will help you. The first part's a little bit more woo-woo, but this is your actual steps. You need some action steps to make those things happen. Can't just say, we can't say put it into the universe, but you need to be doing something in the background to make those things in the universe happen, okay? And so this is just my schedule of events. We don't need to be sharing that. So nobody cares. So hopefully some of these things are helpful to you. I just wanted to help you get 2024 started in a positive headspace with some ideas that can maybe get your business running, get you thinking, get your juices flowing. So if you enjoyed this, please let me know. I will be looking for feedback. Otherwise, I will see you guys later. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.